That's about 2 gallons of orange gas. My boss bought this generator welder and this rat pack and this trailer here. It's only got 725 hours. He's tasked me with getting it running. See what the oil filter number is and service it. It's in really good shape. So hopefully I can get it running. We got a family of mice there. We have to evict them. The person we bought this from thought that maybe it needed a rebuilt carburetor. But if you look at this, look at the gasoline in here. This stuff is yellow. The tank's on the bottom, and just the way this thing's put in here, I don't think there's a drain for this. Disconnect it there, pull this fuel line out. I'll run it over here into a bucket. Then I'll take some compressed air here, put my hand over that, spray some compressed air in there. You don't want to do too much. It's a plastic poly tank, and it's had all that old gas in it for a long time. I don't know about this fuel pump here. I might take it apart. I don't know. Maybe I'll run some brake cleaner through there. I don't know what's in there. A rubber diaphragm or something that you don't want to mess with. I noticed back here, these are disconnected here. I got the fuel line off. I ran it into this DEF tank. There's nothing in this tank except for a little bit of residual DEF. So we get a good look at what that old gas looks like. The air wasn't blowing out. That's what was in there.
Well, that ain't too bad.
And then I
See worse.
So that's what we got out of there. I think these are 2.5 gallon jugs, so that's about 2 gallons of orange gas. My boss thinks that's fine, but I don't think it would run on that very long. You're gonna fire right up. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, I'm gonna fire it up, turn it over and see if any fuel comes out here, just to test out the fuel pump here. Well, I know it's pumping fuel because I could see it squirting up in here. We'll watch for fuel coming out of here. And actually the back two here that I showed earlier, those are capped off, so that's if you want to hook it to probably like an auxiliary fuel tank on a service pickup or something. Well, let's turn it over, see if any fuel pumps out here. So we see their fuel came out. We'll hook up the one to the carburetor now and see if it'll take off. I'm gonna give it a little bit of dragon spit here, just to help it fire one time, and then it'll be running on its own. You can see the jet there. You can actually see the fuel coming in, and then when the butterfly was flat, but then I would push it this way, I could actually see the fuel stream stop. This thing here is getting pinched. I don't know if that would do it. The vacuum line coming into the bottom of the pump is down in here. If you look down in there, it is packed with mouse stuff. So I think it's really important to blow all that out, and then I can really inspect this line right here. Right here, that's running from the crankcase. I believe that's how the fuel pump works. So maybe, you know, a mouse chewed through that. I don't know. I think I'm getting air leaks somewhere. It could be, you know, this fuel filter here could be plugging up. It looks like maybe this was stressed right here, right by my thumbnail at one point. Maybe it's sucking air there. It's really hard to say. I don't know. I'm going to blow this out really good. I'll cover the carburetor, blow this out really good, and then see if I can see some holes chewed through it. It might be the carburetor. I doubt it. I've been looking online. It was saying stuff about the idle solenoid being bad, or something could be an idle solenoid, but I don't think this one's electric. It looks to me like it's all mechanical. So I don't know. It needs to go outside and get blown out. It's gonna start a fire right there. I mean, we gotta blow this out. All right, so I put in a little bit of Berryman's, a little bit of 91 octane. I turned the battery charger up to like it's jump starting a vehicle. I had it on a lower amperage and it had a miss. And as soon as I turned the amperage up on the battery charger, the engine picked right up. So change the oil, change the fuel filter, 91 octane with some Berryman's in there. It was sitting when I changed the oil. I did the fuel filter, changed that out with the Berryman's, and then ran it till the engine was warm, and then let it sit as I changed the oil. And maybe some of that Berryman's or that 91 octane started to break something loose in that carburetor. I don't know. See here, the choke is in. See if she'll start. The big question now is, does the welder work, and do these plugins work? So there you have it. It runs, ran on the grinder. It didn't have a whole lot of power. I don't know if that's just what it has. I was gonna try and run a bead with my little MIG welder, but I ran out of wire. You can't get the leads into the welder on the other side. I think they used it mostly as a generator, but I'm gonna have to cut holes in the box so I can get those leads in. And I don't know what this box is off of, what it's worth. I don't want to go cutting into it without permission. And you know, I think my boss is just gonna use it as a generator. It runs, let's button it back up. Well, I had the heat turned up a little high. You have to have it set on 10 for appliances, so I burned a little bit of holes in there, but the welder definitely works. You can see here you have to have it set at 10 for grinders and stuff, for AC power. I probably should turn that down to like a 4 or 5, but it works. It's probably gonna need some form of a realistic hitch. This works for a farm. I don't think this would work for a commercial operation. But yeah, we'll have to fill this in with some sort of box material and put a normal hitch on this. So it's inside cylinder 1 right now. Let's see what we find. Should be a nice, pretty aluminum piston in there. I don't think that's a piston. Ouch.